The themes that we saw in the startups this year was pretty much everything you could expect. We saw enhancements in telematics, we saw some broker disruption, P2P was a big theme, the use of social data.
I think it's data analytics. There's such a vast amount of information out there at the moment that impacts the financial markets, and using data analytics to harness that data and make it useful is really important.
I think the main thing I saw that I didn't expect was the company that was using people's speech patterns to judge their creditworthiness. I think many of the banks, as well as Accenture, were really surprised by this and saw that it was actually quite controversial.
Something that was a real surprise to me was the immediate dynamic reaction from the clients in the room to get involved and help the startups to solve problems and find use cases for their products. So immediately, even during the pitches that they were doing and directly after. So that was a real surprise at how quickly they wanted to get involved.
I think the advice I would give startups for next year is to really focus on the challenges that are facing banks, especially around regulation, and really ensuring that their solutions are enterprise ready.
I think the most successful pitches were those that tried to solve a problem. They were the ones that had the strongest business case.
So the advice that I'd give to startups for their pitches next year is to be aware that you don't need to come with a final completed strategy. You need to come with a really good idea, some really good thinking around the business case, and let the FinTech programme help you develop the other aspects of your solution.
Key thing that differentiates the FinTech Lab from other accelerators for me is that degree of collaboration, not just across the different startups that go through each of the different work streams, but you've also got the various different insurance partners, independent mentors, and people from Accenture. So you've got a whole wealth of experience within that same room, all looking to drive the startups through for their same objective on getting something tangible out of the programme.
So the fact that the FinTech is associated with a consulting house means that there's a huge variety of expertise that startups can draw from, which is a real differentiator. So they can draw from our technical expertise, legal expertise, strategy, advice, the consulting implementation experience that we can bring. And that means that they can tap into a huge variety of subject matter expertise in the matter of minutes, hours.
In terms of trends impacting 2017, it's always a really difficult question. I think we'll continue to see biometrics feature quite highly as a challenge. I don't think anyone's really cracked that yet. I think as we see regulatory requirements such as PSD2 come to the fore, there'll be even more focus on authentication looking ahead into next year.
So the biggest trends I see is the changing relationship between retail banks and their customers, so with the mass market customers, and it moving from a transactional relationship to a much more developed, evolved relationship where a bank becomes much more than an organisation that looks after your cash and provides you with loans.
We've seen a significant increase in the amount of investment within insurtech. This year, insurtech investment alone is £1 billion, and that's tripled. That's tripled over the past 3 years. So the momentum that we've got behind insurtech, the level of maturity that we're seeing through the propositions, is something really exciting, and is a natural point for us to get it involved on the programme.
So from a personal perspective, working on this programme is great because it's something so different from the day job. It's great to see the enthusiasm from not only the startups but also all of the banks that we've got involved in the programme. And it makes me proud to be part of something which I'm sure is going to help these companies be successful going forward.
I think the thing that makes me most proud is helping to develop companies that are going to help to disrupt the status quo, and I think that will be really useful and will really help to improve the financial services industry.
I'm really proud at the speed at which we can help startups to see results. So immediately after an investor day or when a startup comes to us, I think we can help them to meet the right person, get involved with the right expertise to help them develop their solution quickly.